Alright, so welcome each and everyone. My name is Bolo on the media. This is going to be a very comprehensive live stream. I am live on Bolo 2.0. I am live on Bolo Clips on YouTube. And I'm also live on Bolo on TikTok. I want to encourage everybody to hit the like button, share the live, and subscribe to the platform. For persons on TikTok, I have to repeat it from time to time, but right here on your screen you see the aim for the live. Alright, 50k likes, gifts are accepted. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen.
To speak on a very, very important bill, the National Reconstruction and Resilience Bill. And Madam Speaker, I want to just remind this of emergency gone. When we had the emergencies after Melissa, it's people from all over the world was helping us. It was not NARA. Now we have a chance to use NARA, and we cannot rush it because we are going to say people want to build back stronger and better. There is a thing that named speed, but if you look at the Road Traffic Act, it tells you that speeds have limits. And if speeds have limits, the bill that we intend to pass today must have checks and balances. Madam Speaker, I am going to say something unlike some of you who got a script to come and read. Anything I am saying, whether it is right or wrong, it is from Dennis Daly. I want to ask you a question. I want to really ask a question. Do we really believe in this bill? Or we are going with it? Honestly, or are we just following because we are afraid to speak out about something that is going to affect every Jamaican? I leave this with you. I believe when the people sent us here, they did not send cowards. They said brave men and women. And I would want you to be like the brave leaders that your people sent you here to be. Madam Speaker, unlike many who have seen the bill, and I don't even see like they open it, but they have a lot of big talk. I want to tell you that I took the opportunity this time to read this bill. And this bill, if you are mindful and if you are aware of how the Jamaican people think of us, we'll be very careful about passing this bill without checks and balances. Don't believe the same people that you're in here now trying to lobby on their behalf don't know nothing about NARA. So you're now lobbying for people who knows nothing about what you're lobbying for them for. And therefore, I am wondering if NARA is for us or is for the people. Well, we will see. We will see. We shall see. I remembered once, Madam Speaker, I was in a class. Don't worry about that. Yes, yes. You have lifelong learning, you know. You have lifelong learning. And I remembered very well that a student got up and said, we are making preparation for them without consulting them. What we are doing now is making preparation for people without consulting them. I wanted to say to you, Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister said that this bill is the largest pending bill that history will probably ever see in this country. But about 50% of this bill is going to be hold and have interest on it to be paid back.
Yes.
So it's not any free money.
Nope.
Our people money. Our grandchildren, great-grandchildren money.
Yes.
And therefore, they did not ask us to be swift and then be dishonest. They want us to be swift and fair and honest. That's what they asked us to do. This bill, Madam Speaker, have too much concentration of power in one man's hand. In this bill, I see ministers tell me it start to spin. Because everything I hear, minister. So I want to know if it is a minister bill or is it a people's bill. You see, it is good to get power now. And it is good to get title. But let me tell you something. You see, down the road, let us not come back either here or in the court to give answers and to clarify what we pass in this house. This bill is exposed to corruption and fraud. This bill, and Madam Speaker, I want protection, you know. This bill has the potential for erosion of public trust. And I'm going to tell you something. You know why some of us is so happy in here? Because we can get the ears of the CEO. But for me, you're not going to have the ears of the CEO. And the Prime Minister on Spanish Town, we don't have any drain there. Every drain is blocked.
Mighty God.
No, he comes from, when the Prime Minister,
embarrassing.
Hello, the Prime Minister never refused from reminding this Parliament that he's from Spanish Town. And therefore, I am saying that some of you knows exactly where to go to get the help when Nara pass. And then some of us don't know where to go. So our people going to suffer. While you and the team that you want for specific reason will get the privilege. So therefore, this bill can carry political victimization.
Of course.
And this bill, I remembered again when the Prime Minister said here that we are reforming the public sector to get efficient, competent, and reliable personnel to carry out the work in an efficient manner. What are we going to do with these people now? It's a question, so you can answer. But, Madam Speaker, I am certain that not before Melissa, there was some big projects. And I believe some of you are very happy for Melissa because you'll be able to execute them now because I don't even believe you had the budget for it. So, making presentation and not having the budget and get Melissa, you're using Melissa as a bypass. But I want to say to you that you can't tell me to wrap up because you're just coming. Yeah. So you're just coming. So I am saying, Mr. Speaker, that massive responsibility that is going to be given to the CEO on a day-to-day basis is a recipe for disaster. And Madam Speaker, I stand, not because James has come here when he want to go vote for something. Yeah, that's the only time. That's the only time St. Thomas people see you. St. Thomas people see you in Parliament when you come to vote for a matter. Madam Speaker.
Member Daly.
Madam Speaker.
House Leader, eagerly.
Madam, as the time.
Or the habit.
What? And that's why I'm going to continue. So if you want me to think there, I would advise you that we are from Spanish Town. We do not take instruction from anybody unless it is from our constituency. Madam Speaker, I am saying to the Prime Minister, and I'm saying to the members on both sides, do not do anything out of sentiments. Let us look at the bill in its entirety. Fix the bill, because we are not against the bill. We are against what is in the bill. Thank you very much.
After that warning, them still pass the bill, Jamaica. Mighty God. Can you imagine? After that stern warning, them still pass the bill. I want you to listen to this. And then here we go now. The JLP want to focus on, they want to focus on Miss Dr. Angela Brownberg. Listen to this foolishness. Because I'm going to play it now. Let me speed it up. I'm going to play this nonsense from Marlon Morgan. Listen to this.
Is the preeminent symbol of our rich and vibrant democracy. That a sitting of a committee of parliament was so disgracefully disrupted and effectively brought into disrepute is the clearest indication yet that the opposition PNP is prepared to take Jamaica back to the dark days of our unsavory political past. As if the grossly disorderly conduct of PNP chairman Angela Brown-Burke, who interfered with the mace, was not repugnant and disturbing enough, the entire opposition PNP was openly defiant and exhibited contempt for the chairman's ruling and the will of the members who voted in favor of Brownberg's suspension from the remainder of Tuesday night's sitting of Parliament. The disgraceful behavior exhibited by Angela Brown-Burke and her PNP colleagues not only threatens to shake the very foundations of our democracy, but equally so constitutes a new low in the political history of our beloved nation. For the other PNP members, led by opposition leader Mark Golding, to have joined Angela Brown-Burke in open defiance of the rules governing Parliament and the expressed directive of the chairman and House Speaker renders them just as culpable and worthy of rebuke as Angela Brown-Burke herself. As Parliamentary Secretary in the Education Ministry, I dedicate so many of my speaking engagements to impressing upon our young people the importance of restraint, responsible conduct, and use of appropriate channels to resolve conflicts and disputes. Against the backdrop of violence and other forms of antisocial behavior on the part of our nation's children, I am particularly disappointed that the parliamentary opposition, with opposition leader Mark Golding being equally complicit, has undermined the moral authority of our nation's parliament in the way they have. As right-thinking members of society, we must recognize that the actions of the opposition PNP in Parliament Tuesday night set a poor example for the school children we are urging to conduct themselves appropriately. While I look forward to the appropriate parliamentary sanctions to be meted out to Angela Brown-Burke in particular, nothing but a swift and unreserved apology by Angela Brown-Burke and opposition leader Mark Golding to the Speaker, their colleague parliamentarians, and by extension the people of Jamaica should be forthcoming at this time. The Parliament of Jamaica is the preeminent symbol of our rich and vibrant democracy. That a sitting of a committee of parliament was so disgracefully disrupted and effectively brought into disrepute is the clearest indication yet.
All right, shut up your mouth. Just I play it because we want to hear the foolishness when I say. Let us listen to the facts now and the truth and context.
Well, good evening, Jamaica. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you breaking news from out of Parliament. Yesterday, the mace was touched. Yes, touched. So we came here to Parliament to check on the mace to see how the mace is doing. Hello, mace. Tell us what happened.
I was minding my business, as one does, symbolizing authority as we colonial vestiges do, when suddenly I was lifted.
Lifted? Oh, really? Wow. How did that make you feel?
Well, I must say it was rather shocking. Quite the disturbance. I haven't experienced such contact in years.
Not since Edmund Bartlett.
But you're fine though, correct?
Yes, I am fine.
He needs some milk!
Man, listen. Lord have mercy.
He needs some milk!
Wait, how did we get to he needs some milk? What the hell? That's not what I was looking for. That's not what I was playing. missed it, man. But Jamaica.
What can go so?
That is funny, honey. That's funny. Oh my God, that is funny.
Now could hear the maze again.
That is funny, honey. That's funny. Oh my God, that is
Scheduled
funny.
programming to bring you breaking news from out of Parliament. Yesterday, the mace was touched. Guess? Touched. So we came here to Parliament to check on the mace to see how the mace is doing.
You see, before check on the Parliament, I want to touch the like button on YouTube. Touch! Hang on. Before she talk to the maze. Shout out to Nikisha Burchell, Queen of the South. Mighty God. Jamaica, the maze was touched. That's what's in the news, you know. The maze was touched. Not that the Naira bill, the criminal bill was passed. Excuse me. The maze was touched. Sassy, how you doing? Best grandma, big up. Karen, big up. Antonio, big up. Where's we see in that place? Merle, big up. Let me see. David, thank you for that. Thank you for that. We have Enna Young, big up. Dahlia. How you doing, Dahlia? Bless up on yourself. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Doreen Headley, big up. Ladies and gentlemen, the maze was touched. We're going to get an exclusive interview here to the maze from Nikisha Burchell. Big up everybody on TikTok. There's so many. Level 7 David Reach right now on the fan club. Guys, I encourage you to join my fan club. Join button is right up here. I encourage you to follow me on TikTok. Also follow me on YouTube. The link is in the bio for my YouTube. Okay, TikTok? The aim is 50,000 likes and gifts are welcome. For YouTube, yeah, you know, we have the live goal. You know, London in the building. We have Clark in the building. And of course, we have the live goal. Super chat is available on Bolo VNR 2.0. You can access that. You can give people gifts. You can become, you can give me gifts. You can give people memberships that is in the chat that don't like to type it. So when they give memberships, it pops their name up so we can know who is watching. Maybe one of the laborites is watching, like from the government. You never know. Anyway, Undefeated Rush, how you doing? Jamie, big up yourself. Laura, thank you for the likes. We're going to shout out some people on TikTok real quick before we go to the maze. Let me see what I go on here. So we have David, Jamie, Fire, Petsy, Myrtle, Forever Riches, Harry, Debbie, Antonio, Lavish, Pang, Maria, Alton Hilton, Sweet Shan, Laura Wheatley. Laura Wheatley is the Laura Wheatley from YouTube. Make sure you come over YouTube. Don't want to get too comfortable. More of my YouTube people stay up on YouTube. Thank you for the gifts. Alright, thank you for joining the fan club. So we have Maurice, we have Sham King, we have Mishibu, Denise, we have Hewlett Barnes, Reedy, Max, Stir, Cecile, User 61, Coop Cap Cakes, J216, Masterpiece, Melbourne, Mer 2281, One Dunceman. What? Man, yo, you need to change that name if you're not a laborite. Dalvan Gill, Valerie Clark, Diana, Everbless, Johnson Denise. We have God Bless, Akeem, Arlie Morris, Blacker, Jackie Matthews, Undefeated Rush, Rosemary. We have Sunday Brown, Vilma, Campbell, Chubby Hype, Francie Peralta. We have Afric, Mato, DQ. We have Lassalat, Nelson, Gyrat New. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is that Jerry and Nephew? Oh my God. The person put Jerry and Nephew in a wickedest way. A real Roman that in a Monica, Clarence, Wilford, Angela, Justin, David, Barber, Reggie, Lenny, Rose, Shadeen, Scorcher. We have Duran Clark in the building on YouTube. Alright, bless up everybody. Let's get into it. Laura, your first time on TikTok? Alright, big up yourself.
doing. Hello, Mace. Tell us what happened.
I was minding my business, as one does,
Yes.
symbolizing authority as we colonial vestiges do,
Yes.
when suddenly I was lifted.
Lifted? Oh, really? Wow. How did that make you feel?
Well, I must say it was rather shocking. Quite the disturbance.
Yes.
I haven't experienced such contact in years.
Yes.
Not since Edmund Bartlett.
But you're fine, though.
Edmund Bartlett. This was confirmed last night. Edmund Bartlett, ladies and gentlemen, took up the mace, ran with it outside, and locked the doors. Reports have told me. I've read it in articles as well. And he was not punished. He was not thrown out of parliament. He apologized and they moved on. Let's continue.
Yes, I am fine.
Well, there you have it. We can all settle down now because the mace
good.
is fine.
The mace is
now
good.
let's talk about what really happened, because before the mace became the headline,
Yes.
members of parliament were trying to speak.
Listen.
Angela Brown Burke was ignored when she tried to speak.
Listen.
Mark Golding ignored. Philip Hallwell, Omar Newell, Isat Buchanan, Mike On, standing. Sometimes they were heard, sometimes they weren't. They tried to catch the speaker's attention.
No, don't. It doesn't make sense to turn on your mic again, member. We are finished.
But sometimes they were even asked
Listen to
to
this.
state why they needed to speak. Before they could even speak, they were asked to confirm whether their point was new before their microphones were turned on by the speaker.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those against?
Hold on, man. But
Divide. Clark?
On the ear, the person at the background, anti-tiny wagwan. On the ear, the person at the background for the PNP side, I said, Madam Chair, Madam Chair, Madam Chair. And she ignoring them. Why she ignoring them? She don't want them to speak Jamaica. This is a breach of their constitutional right and their right as an MP to represent the people within the parliament. Juliet Holness must go. She's a monster Jezebel. You understand, Patsy? Big up yourself. This lady is demonstrative. So you see the context now, right? She has shown you in a parliament from, and you can go up on the PNP page, go watch it on yourself. She has shown you her facial expression. She just wanted to go home. They are so upset that 28 members of the People's National Party is not docile and sleeping and just accepting anything they put forth. And they are doing everything. Do you guys remember the previous sitting last week when she said that she was not sure and she not promising if the other members will be able to speak on the Nara bill? Who remember that? She disgusting for true Saturday. Right? And she has shown her clear bias. I want you guys to go and look up. What is the role of the Speaker of the House? Real old hog. Every single description that is bad that they are putting out in the media about this lady, I totally agree. She's awful. You understand? She is awful. She can't rule her yard. Right? But she want to come rule people like say she want them a picnic. She can't rule her house and her husband and keep him in line. So him not go outside the marriage. Right? You hear the man say the girls them bubblegum, and I mean say so. What kind of married man I come on TV and talk about me and the girls them bubblegum? Do you know what that means? You're in everybody's mouth. When you read into that, you don't want to read into it. I say son of me and the girls them bubblegum. Huh? All the ladies can taste you. Oh, you ever said that I want married man? So it is clear that there is frill and friction and quarrel. You remember the bomb threat? And you know, Jay Bryan said something earlier in his life, and I never thought about it. Have you guys ever seen Rhoda Crawford speak in the house while Juliet Holness is there? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen her speak when Juliet Holness is there? More somebody, if you have heard it and seen it, more want to send me the clip, please. I cannot recall Rhoda Crawford having a voice in the parliament when Juliet Holness is there as the speaker. I've seen her in the Senate. I've never seen her speak while Juliet Holness. She has no contribution, Jamaica. Can you imagine? She's an MP now. She is an MP for crying out loud. And so there's clear personal issues. This lady is unprofessional. She is not fit to lead what is supposed to be the Honorable House. She has brought the Honorable House into disrepute. Right? It is her fault why the People's National Party members had to go to the point of taking up the maze out of frustration because they were not being heard and clearly ignored. Right? Them not care and Angel, them not care and Labour Right and PMP, everybody has suffered because of the Labour Right them supporting this evil government. Guys, remember, so we need to get to 50k likes, so work with me. We want to beat up the stream. Time for beat up the stream. Alright, let's go.
No, leader of opposition business. Do you have a different point?
Yeah. What do you mean if a man have a different point? So a man supposed to tell him point before he make him point? I make you know which point take a man make? Why doesn't he have the freedom to make his point? This is what she was doing to frustrate them. Because she just wanted to go home, Jamaica, and she wanted to protect her husband from the beating him when I go get. From everybody that came against the bill. Alright?
Do you have a different point? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
There were...
You see? Dr. Angela Brownberg. Dr. Angela Brownberg is the type of person, she actually defends every single person in the People's National Party in Parliament. She stands up. She is the nanny. She stand up and she defend Mark Goldie. She defend everybody. Why I think everybody stand up in a defense of her? Because they saw, one, what was happening, and two, Mama Angie, Dr. Angela Brownberg. She defend everybody. But this is what they want in Jamaica. They want this to be the story. Big up yourself, Shaka Fame. Respect the general every time. They want this to be the story, but this is not the story, you know. This story is the criminal Nara bill where them pass. The story is the new taxes where them put on the Airbnbs. The story is this story we're coming at the article today. Unconstitutional court strikes down the Bengal mining permit, the Dry Harbor mountains. This is the story where they want to divert you from Barbara. You understand? This is, imagine Andrew Holness, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. The Jamaica Constitutional Court has struck down as unconstitutional, void, and no effect the 2020 environmental permit granted for Bengal Development Limited controversial limestone mining project, handing a major victory to the St. Anne residents who challenged the approval. The ruling blocked and proposed quarrying operations in the ecologically sensitive Dry Harbor Mountains, where residents argue the development threatened their constitutional right to a healthy environment. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, acting in his capacity as minister with responsibility for the natural resources, Conservation Authority had overturned the agency's rejection of Bengal Development Mining application, Jamaica. Andrew HOLNESS overturned the blockage for Bengal Development Limited to mine in the Dry Harbour Mountain. He said, go ahead and mine. What do you think they're going to do with the Naira bill, Jamaica? What do you think Andrew HOLNESS is going to do with the powers of the Naira bill if this is what he's doing in jeopardizing the health of the people of St. Anne by giving the Dry Harbour or giving the Bengal Development Limited the pass to go and mine limestones in the Dry Harbour? What do you think he's going to do with the areas where the Maroons are? This is the man that has no care for the environment, only care for the money and pocket. Money that would jeopardize the health of Jamaican citizens. You think say a PMP alone in that area? Labour right living there too. Alright? Alright, so this person must come off of my page. Cause this is one of the the bootlickers, the slave master Pitney. One of the bootlickers and one of the slave master Pitney that. You understand? Yeah, man. And one of them that talking about what? What you say? The Airbnb must pay their fair taxes. Look at you. The only reason why they are taxing the Airbnb is because they realize that the people them make money. Same thing they do with the youth them are sent on. Right? And what's her name? God rest her soul. Although she went a JLP, she stand up for the youth them. What's her name from Naughty St. Anne? Miss Robinson. Right? The MP that died. That is a labor right. She defended the youth them when he placed them up a blue hole. Tourist attraction. The man didn't want to take off the youth them off of the property. If it wasn't for Miss Robinson standing and fighting for the youth them and poor people, they would have run them way. And there was a story about White River as well. The man they moved the raft after them. You hear me say? Protecting rich people, investment, talking about Airbnb. Why wouldn't you want the Jamaican people business to grow? Wanna give big entities tax exemptions. Look on UHWI. Shiny Robinson, thank you so much. God rest our soul. Shiny Robinson, fight for the youth them. In a St. Anne, we have them thing up there. Fight for them. And then they want to move the youth them from off of the thing. Right? And it's the same thing them doing now. This government is for the wealthy. They are not for the poor people. Make the Airbnb them grow, no man. Wanna see things that get hard upon people. I want to make it even harder for them by increasing the taxes on them. But on the raise the owner pay. Don't raise the teacher them pay. Don't raise the nurse them pay. The police them need more money to soldier. But on the full on the owner pockets. And now this bill is another attempt for full on the owner pockets. Because you guys are not new to corruption, the Jamaica Labour Party. You guys are entrenched in corruption. Right? So can you imagine a man like this that literally overrid the entity that blocked? Thank you so much. That overrid the entity. What is this? Tea? The government that overrid, ladies and gentlemen, the entity that blocked for environmental purposes. Right? For help, for protect the people them. Because clearly, like this is a no-brainer, you know. But can you imagine you have a leader that does not respect protecting the environment and the people that live in it? And you want this man to oversee a NARA bill with how it's constructed. Jamaica, if you don't know, wake up and rise up. I'm telling you, you guys will have nothing left. Not even your rights them under the Jamaica Labour Party. You will have nothing when that PNP do everything they can do. Only if you stand up, and I call upon the Labour right them too, because God must speak to your heart. You can't see all of this evidence and still support a wicked, evil government like this. There's just no way, Jamaica. There's no way. Tomorrow, there is something called a no movement day protest by the good brother Marvin Edgar. No work. Let me look on it too. Let me go and play Nikisha Burchell and find it. Where is she? Where's the beautiful Nikisha Burchell? Yes.
Interrogated before being allowed to contribute. This didn't start with the mace. It started with voices not being heard. And this is not new. This has been happening for sittings under a speaker who is selective and increasingly getting comfortable sidelining opposition voices.
That's right.
And if you don't believe me, take a look at this.
I've learned it is important to be fair. It's difficult as a speaker because I make every effort to maintain that balance. However, it still has to be appreciated that to become speaker, I ran on a party, and to remain speaker, to remain an MP, I will have to.
And if you don't believe me, take a look at this.
I've learned it is important to be fair. It's difficult as a speaker because I make every effort to maintain that balance. However, it still has to be appreciated that to become speaker, I ran on a party ticket, and to remain speaker, to remain an MP, I will have to run on a party ticket again. So you have to sort of balance that.
Jamaica, that is an admission that she cannot do her job. Thank you so much. This is excellent work. Like and share this video, guys. Lorna, big up yourself. This is excellent work from Nikisha Burchell. Talking about playing the tape. Talking about playing their own words. I never saw this part of that interview. I remember playing some of the interview, you know, when she was on TV, you know, the woman thing, when they were interviewing her and she talked about when she did Young and my highlights said, you know, she said that she was cooking and cleaning and everything when them they go work in the summer, and she locked up the people, them, our brothers and sisters in one part of the house. So remember when I highlight that? But I never saw this part of the interview, ladies and gentlemen. We have to play it again, you know. We have to play it again. Mighty God of Daniel, listen to Juliet HOLNESS. Whoa.
Increasingly getting
right,
comfortable sidelining opposition voices. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this.
I've learned it is important to be fair. It's difficult as a speaker because I make every effort to maintain that balance. However, it still has to be appreciated that to become speaker, I ran on a party ticket, and to remain speaker, to remain an MP, I will have to run on a party.
She's letting you know where her loyalties lie. Her loyalties lie with the people that voted for her. So as speaker, she have to make sure that she not upset the people who vote for her, Jamaica. I want to understand. That's what she's saying. She have to make sure say the Labour right them not upset with her how she operates as the speaker of the. She is prioritizing maintaining power instead of doing her job as Speaker of the House. Her maintaining power trumps, overrides, is above maintaining the dignity of the Speaker of the House and being professional as the Speaker of the House. So that's why she protect the Labour right them, and she don't chastise them. She don't sanction them. That's why Daryl Vaz can cuss bad in the parliament when my man there talk, and she never said, let's have a vote for Daryl Vaz being removed for his dirty behavior. She never do that. Right? And I have to say to the PMP, you guys need to start doing that, you know. Yeah, man, we need to start do that, man. We need to start raise those point of orders. Somebody said from me, a boy, JLP is for the very rich. Yeah, but Andrew Honest now, he might go for another level, bro. You understand what I say? He must show one side of him where enough people ain't pay attention to. And I'm gonna play a tape for you. I'm gonna big up Mr. Lonesome. Zane, Mr. Lonesome have something when him exposed. I tell you. I learn a lot. Hey, Mr. Lonesome the normal, yeah, man. I learn a lot
to
from
it
him.
again. So you have to sort of balance that.
Now let's add some context.
No,
this
no,
is
no,
not
hold
the
on,
first
my darling.
time for sittings
Play
under
it
a
again.
speaker who is selective
Play it again.
and increasingly getting comfortable
Yes.
sidelining opposition voices. And if you don't believe me,
Just watch.
take a look at this.
Yes.
I've learned it is important to be fair. It's difficult as a speaker because I make every effort to maintain that balance. However, it still has to be appreciated that to become speaker, I ran on a party ticket, and to remain speaker, to remain an MP, I will have to run on a party ticket again. So you have to sort of balance that.
Now let's add some context. This is not the first time that the mace has been handled.
Yes.
The last time, Edmund Bartlett picked it up and ran through the door with it.
Mighty God.
So let's ask the question, was there a meltdown then? Was there shouting outside, outside, as if you're shooing a dog?
Yes.
Marshall, please. Angela Brownberg, I name you. Outside. Marshall, go for her.
Was there panic? No. It was handled calmly.
Outside. Marshall, go for her. Hear this monster Jezebel. Talking to Dr. Angela Brownberg like she's a dog. She's a monster Jezebel, Jamaica. A monster. She's not a regular Jezebel. Who worse than Jezebel in our Bible? Who worse than Jezebel in our Bible? You know, some of your Marks to talk about it all the while. And Marshall. You have somebody in the Bible where it was worse than Jezebel. She is it. She is it. What a hog indeed. Listen to this hog.
Was there shouting outside, outside, as if you're shooing a dog?
Marshall, please. Angela Brownberg, I name you. Outside. Marshall, go for her.
Was there panic? No. It was handled calmly.
Awful, man.
So what changed? Is it the action?
Outside.
Or is it the person? Because yesterday, the reaction wasn't just firm. It was immediate.
Jamaica, dog alone me talk to some. Outside. You know when I see dog and the dog come and the dog not supposed to stay in our house. Because you know in Jamaica, few people live a foreign, it's kind of different. We don't treat dog like that. Outside. So a dog alone will treat like that. She's damn out of order. She's damn out of order, Samantha. Sherman, big up. No, man.
Forceful, absolute, not calm management of the house. This was personal. Angela Brownberg didn't wake up and decide, hey, today I'm going to move the mace. I feel like I want to touch the mace. She tried to speak on a number of occasions in this very sitting.
Listen.
And when you suppress people's rights long enough,
Yes.
they will find a
Of
way
course.
to be heard.
Yes.
Now understand this. Yesterday was not just any debate.
Angela,
This was a bill that gives the Prime Minister and the Cabinet extraordinary
Powers.
power to decide which projects move forward and which don't, which road gets fixed and which community gets left behind. No independent board, no meaningful oversight. The Prime Minister selects the CEO and then can override that CEO anytime and on any matter. And then there's indemnity, which means no prosecution, no accountability, no consequences, no prison time.
No prison time.
Untouchable. So when the opposition...
Mr. Smiley come on my live last night on TikTok and I can talk about say a propaganda we are spread. When you hear what you said a while ago? That's not propaganda, that's facts. Nobody from Nara will go to prison. As a matter of fact, if they're taken to court, how we, the taxpayer, go pay their lawyer fee? We, the taxpayer, got to pay their lawyer fee. First of all, big up yourself. Chrissy Boo, big up. Right? Jamie, big up. We have got to pay them lawyer fee, Jamaica, in case you never know. Angela Lewin, how are you? I don't know what is going on. Albert, big up yourself. Delilah. No, man. You have somebody worse than Delilah, man. This is my man. I'm telling you. I just become a car member. Marshall and Marshall from Mark Stewart Camp General. Apostle Marshall, him talk about it and Mark Stewart talk about it. I didn't name my car member. Jain, my honorable member of the platform. How you doing? Bless you, my darling. Bless you. Let's continue.
Tried to challenge this, there was no room for interruption, no room for dissent. This space for debate was tightly controlled by a heavy-handed and partisan chair.
Yes.
And frustration boiled over. Now that the meltdown is over, the mace is secured, let's ask something more important. Is the voice of the people being heard?
No.
Is Parliament allowing
Jamaica, if the Speaker of the House is suppressing the voice of the people by suppressing the MPs that need to speak. They are the voice of the people. Where you say Jezebel daughter worse than her mother? What Jezebel daughter name? She is at her Bev. She behave like say them are picnic. Talk truth no blacker. Talia. I don't think of that name there. Atalia. I'm going to find out still. But when she suppresses the voice of the MPs from the People's National Party, she's suppressing the voice of the people. The JLP individuals that were elected or stole the election, in which way you want to look upon it. They are there. They are supposed to serve both the people, everybody, not just JLP alone. It's not just JLP alone that's supposed to serve NAMA. It's everybody. It's everybody.
Debate, or is something more important? Is the voice of the people being heard? Is Parliament allowing real debate, or is control being masked for order? Because yesterday it felt like the mace was being protected, the relics of our colonial past was being protected, but the voices were not. The mace is fine. The real question is our democracy fine?
No.
Well,
This was an excellent video. One of her better videos. I'm glad that she come in defense of Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, because Michael, big up yourself. Imagine you are there, and I'm going to play the tape too, because you see, Jamaica, tomorrow, Friday, May 1st, no movement day. Don't go to work, don't go to school, don't spend, don't move. You hear me say? That is easy. No police can force you to come out of your yard. No police can force you to carry your picnic. The government can't force you. I want you guys to stand with Marvin Edgar. No movement day May 1st. No work, no school. No spending, no movement. Standing against corruption, incompetence, and disrespect. Our silence will speak louder than words. This is what we demand. Accountability from all officials. And that includes the Naira bill that doesn't have no accountability. Alright? Where you say? Atalia. So Juliet Holness' name is Atalia, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Atalia the people them say. Worse than Jezebel. Alright? Transparency in all government operations. This also attacks the Naira bill. People first policy that create change. This also attacks the Naira bill. We were not consulted by the government on how we want things to move forward. It's not like it's their money, you know. 50% of it we have to pay back, you know. We the taxpayers, you know. I just want you guys, this is why you should care about what is being spoken about and what is being said. Your children, your children's children, and their children, we have to pay for it, Jamaica. And the potential of many bad things happening, right, in terms of court cases, well, we have to pay for those lawyer fees as well out of our tax dollars. Can you imagine? This is a perfect scam. But it goes on to say, end corruption and theft of resources. Well, you guys definitely have to stand up tomorrow. From the thank you, Chrissy. I just followed you back, but you're private. From the clock strike 12 a.m. in the morning, Jamaica. Don't leave from the house. 12 a.m. tonight. Don't leave from the house till 12 a.m. the next morning. I don't know why you would leave your house 12 a.m. the next morning. But if you have to, let it be that time. We should all stand up in protest against the government. Stand up by staying home, Jamaica. Well, if a taxi man there on the road, man wonder how I go and make him go home too. Instead of wasting fuel. Thank you for the follow, rest a minute. Appreciate that. Right? Bimbo is big up. Thanks to the follow as well. Yeah. Everybody, hey, me say taxi man, I'm gonna turn up, you know, because you guys shouldn't even drive on the road. The road is so bad. Take a day off, brother. Don't go nowhere. The busiest day of the year on Friday. Busiest day. Let the streets be a ghost town, Jamaica. And make them know. Only can go on the phone, you know, and go live on TikTok, you know, and go live on any platform, Facebook, and say, we say no to the Naira bill, and we say no to corruption in Jamaica. Spending no time on the phone, right, and make them know. We know the raising of the gas, the using of the edge tax. There's so much thing to protest, the unaliving of the citizens of Jamaica by the police. Do you guys know that it's over 110 people have lost their lives by the hands of the police? Do you know that there's 37 people that lost their lives in April alone? Where you say you want the sign? Let me show you up on the TikTok page. I'm Marvin Edgar TikTok page now, guys. May I read something from it now? So we cannot use force, or we don't want to use force against the state. So let us use action, civil, legal action against the state. Nobody not going nowhere. No school, no work, no nothing. You hear me say? No school, no work, no nothing. Me tell yourself when you're serious, you know. We can't do this for 1 week, you know. Ban in the belly. If you want good, your nose have to run. Ban in the belly. But let's start with that day. Let's start with that day, guys. Can we do 24 hours standing in solidarity against dictatorship, against criminality, against corruption, against bullyism from the government, against lack of consultation and transparency? Can we stand up against that? No, yeah. First of all, them have to know about it for them stay home. I recently knew about it. But whoever stay home, Would I love them to go live and show their solidarity of why them stay home. See it there? This is the poster. See there? No movement there. See there? Marvin Edgar Page. See there? You see it? All right. May 1st. This is the day. This is the day when the taxes are going to go up. This is the day when food prices are going to go up. You go shop from today, Jamaica. If you can't shop. Yeah, man. Go up on the road today, go shop. Right? Can you put up the sign? Which hand sign? What is that? Sassy attack in a code. I don't understand the Sassy attack. I don't know what they're saying. But I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on, Jamaica. Now, there's another audio more of a share.
It shows Jamaica. So don't say that the bangle because no the class play a clip, but it kind of too large to send to my email. But I will get it done.
Listen to this.
Let's continue. This woman needs to be removed. They need to come to a consensus among themselves. If it means to make Eli sit down in the seat. Yeah? If it means to make Eli Clark elevated as the House Speaker, as much as, Eli is just like them. But this woman is too much now.
Too much for too much.
Well, Jamaica,
thanks for the follow,
the opposition can do is continue to stand up for them rights in that house. It continues has to be done. When I that Parliament, it is too much. This woman is too much. If it means to make Eli play a clip, but it kind of too large to send to the Speaker of the House. And that's not my act.
Yeah, this one I play. Right now.
And the government side, and yes, even the House Speaker. Because many of you woke up to the headlines and the soundbites about the news. A carefully packaged version of events, what happened, what didn't happen, but with absolutely no context. And that's not by accident. That's his political maneuvering. So yes, Dr. Angela Brownberg touched the news. And the JP is out acting like she committed some grave offense. But what nobody wants to talk about is what actually happened before the moment. So on Tuesday night, the committee of the whole was sitting, going through the narrative, clause by clause.
Sorry about that. But find the original clip. Mighty God. See it here. Listen to this. This is clearer. See it here. This is Peter G. Ferguson.
The selective outrage and the constant politicking coming from members on the government side. So while I've been having my regular morning coffee, I've been reflecting on what took place in Parliament on Tuesday night, and I can't help but notice the hypocrisy, the selective outrage, and the constant politicking coming from members on the government side. And yes, even the House Speaker. Because many of you woke up to the headlines and the sound bites about the maze. A carefully packaged version of events, what happened, what didn't happen, but with absolutely no context. And that's not by accident. That is political maneuvering.
Mighty God.
So yes, Dr. Angela Brownberg touched the mace. And the JLP is out here acting like she committed some grave offense. But what nobody wants to talk about is what actually happened before the moment. So on Tuesday night in Garden House, the committee of the whole House was sitting, going through the NARA bill clause by clause. Dr. Angela Brownberg, MP for St. Andrew Southwestern, wanted to speak. That is literally her job. She pressed her button the correct way, the proper parliamentary way. She pressed it again and again and again. And she called to the speaker, not once, not twice, but 5 times. She tried to get the speaker's attention, and the speaker ignored her every single time. Now, just imagine you're at your workplace, you have something important to say about a matter that affects the people who you serve, and the person chairing the meeting just look past you, you know, like you're not even there. How would that actually make you feel? Now, this is where it gets worse, because it wasn't just that Dr. Angela Brownberg was being ignored. The speaker, Juliet Holness, was heard making derogatory comments through all of that. You could hear the dislike in her tone. The way she spoke to Dr. Brownberg was dismissive, it was rude, and it was just beneath the dignity of the office that she holds. So, a speaker's role, and let me be very clear, right, is to be neutral. The speaker is supposed to be the referee in that room, not a player, not someone carrying personal feelings into professional spaces. The chair is supposed to protect the rights of every member, both government and opposition alike, right? So that they can be heard. But this is not the first time. This is a pattern, a continued documented pattern of the inability to separate personal from professional. A pattern of bias, a pattern of disrespect aimed at members of the opposition, and it's been going on for far too long.
Quite so.
Enough is enough. Now, when you can hear the content in someone's voice, when you can feel the partiality in how the chair runs a sitting, that is a problem. That is a serious, serious problem. Now, let me tell you something about this mace that everyone is so up in arms about. The parliamentary mace is a ceremonial object, essentially a decorated staff that sits in the chamber during official sittings. It represents the authority of the speaker and the legitimacy of parliament to conduct its business. So without the mace present, constitutionally, parliament cannot sit. So yes, touching the mace is a big deal, symbolically. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. But here's what I actually need you to understand. The mace is also a relic of our colonial past. That object with all its pomp and ceremony was inherited from the Westminster system, the British Parliament. Yes, it's a representation of the sovereign or crown. We carried it over, rules and all, into our independent nation, and there is a growing legitimate conversation across the Caribbean and the Commonwealth about what symbols we choose to keep, what we choose to challenge, and what they truly represent for post-colonial peoples. I'm not saying Dr. Angela Brownberg was right to touch it, but what I'm saying is, why did it get to that point? What drove a seasoned, experienced parliamentarian to that moment of frustration? That is the question. No, the JP wants to make Dr. Brownberg the villain of that incident in the last sitting. They want to talk about the mace, about standing orders, about parliamentary privilege. Fine, but where is the press release about a speaker who ignored an MP's right to speak? Where is the condemnation of derogatory comments being made from the chair? Where is the outrage about years of impartiality being compromised? The rules of parliament exist to protect everyone, not just the party in power. And when the very person who is supposed to enforce those rules is the one breaking the spirit of fairness, you don't come and get to only quote standing orders when it's convenient for you.
That's right.
No, Dr. Angela Brownberg did not wake up on that day, Tuesday, and decide to cause a scene for fun. She's a woman who was repeatedly ignored, talked down to, disrespected in a room where she has every right to be heard.
Yes.
And when you push people past their limit, when you treat professionals like they don't matter, eventually something gives.
Of course.
Now, the people of Jamaica deserve a parliament that works for all of them. They deserve a speaker
who walks into that chair and leaves their personal politics at the door. They deserve a chamber where opposition voices are heard just as clearly as government voices.
Right.
So, before you form your opinion based on a headline, ask yourself, what happened before the mace was touched? Who was ignored? Who was disrespected? And who is being held accountable for that? I want you to think about it.
You know, I'm having a profound appreciation. I'm having a profound appreciation, Miss Curiosity Kid, for the young arm of the People's National Party. Even when Mark Golding decides to, step aside, we are in good hands. We are in good hands, Jamaica. We are in very good hands. One love, Lady Kiki, Risto Minute. I am so, I don't have to say anything else. She put it into proper perspective, Jamaica. The maze is symbolic. Juliet Honest defending the maze more than Osha defend the people of our constituency that was marooned for days because of landslide. Where was her oomph and veracity and effort and drive to go and remove the landslide from the road like how she wanted to remove Dr. Angela Brownberg for touching the mace after she disrespected her several times and several other members of the People's National Party by ignoring elected officials that was signaling her so they could make her contribution. She ignored them. Jamaica, tomorrow, again, no movement day. If you want to stand against this Jezebel, this monster Jezebel, this one they call her Atalia, Jezebel daughter. If you don't want to stand against this Jezebel, do not left in the yard tomorrow. Don't buy nothing. Don't contribute to the economy in any way. Tan a your yard. If you want to even do it better, lock off your breaker. Don't even plug in one fan. Because you know them can send one light bill. And you know everything will go up. Lock off your breaker, man. Go outside, go slung on that tree, man. And do what we used to do back in the day. Go talk to your neighbor and ask them, how are we going to remove this government? She have more love for the mace than she have for the people in our constituency. Thank you for the hat and the mustache. Big up yourself. Samantha, appreciate you. But me have one life goal for you gifters them, Right? Yeah, man. Mighty God. This was 6 hours ago. Listen to this. Peter Bunty.
Because my name is Mrs. Palmer.
Yes.
Member of this community.
Yes.
Along with Brother Montague and Sister Campbell. We are here because we are very much concerned about the damage that the JAMAICA product has had on the lives of our community members.
Mighty God.
We are concerned as community members that their healths have been affected severely. We have members of the community or as close as possible to the pit of the mining area who are suffering. They are sick and are serious medical issues. Here, Brother Montague, he has a serious medical issue. And his wife also. And he said not only one, but 3 medical issues. We have spoken time and time again to representatives of the JAMAICA, asking asking them to protect the homes of the individuals that are close, and it's going nearly three weeks, and they have not yet adhered to our request. We're asking them simply to put a fence, so the mesh fencing, to protect the homes of these residents who are sick. The tanks are not properly covered. It was pointed out to them, and they told us, yes, they will do the covering of the fencing, and then they refused from doing so. We are asking that they step in now, and persons who are overseas, who are really responsible for these homes, they are not aware of some of the damages that are being done to their homes. Miss Vita, her house is badly damaged. The Thompson's house, you can see it over there. The Thompson's house, badly damaged with dust, and they have cracks because they claim that the place is shaking while the mining is going forward.
Whoa.
And we are not getting anywhere with Jamaica. And I think it's very unfair for residents to be here suffering the dust effect.
Hi, Joy. Thank you, Joy.
He has not received $1 since then, and he's the closest member to the pit. We are also requesting that they look at the safety of pedestrians as well as drivers, because the road below is very narrow. We ask them to debush it for us or widen the road so that we can have a more safer appearance when we get to this spot. They have refused. We need for the flag raisers to be closer to the corner, because it's too narrow a corner for us to come and face this kind of production. So we are asking them, please, to widen the road or debush the area.
Mighty God. Jamaica, those are residents from Asia Top. And this is Peter Bunting MP that posted this on his Facebook page. Raising concerns, right? Health issues, dust, structural damage, the house. You can see the cracking on the wall, right? Unsafe roads. The road too narrow for truck. I know I'll be a big truck pass through. I'm looking at the road. Like, this is what they should be talking about, you know. They need to sue the government, you know. They need to sue the government for not protecting the citizens' them constitutional right. They need to sue them. Now, Jamaica, I'm telling you, when it rains, it pours. Until I say I have a packed show today, you know. Please like and share the video if you have not already. YouTube, I don't know why you not like the video. Let me see. Right up here, so, there's a thumbs up button. Right up here, so. Don't know if you're new to the platform, but there's a thumbs up symbol. When you press the thumbs up symbol, that's how you access the like button. See it here? Somewhere up here, so YouTube. My people on TikTok, the aim is 50,000 likes. I'm going to start the stopwatch. Start the stopwatch for 3 minutes. We are going to hit the like button spree. See? Yeah, man, we are going to hit the like button spree right now. Let me see. 3 minutes. Let's go. Starting now, TikTok. 3 minutes. Everybody, 133 right now. Let's go. Let's get to 50K. Yeah, man. No, hold on there. No, man, a different thing this. Let me start it again. 3 minutes. Let's go. Yes, 3 minutes, guys. Let's get it. Let's get it. Now, Jamaica, I came across something from the Honorable Christopher Brown. You understand? And he's addressing the councillor for Richmond Division that said some things on the radio. Of course, he's the MP for Southeast St. Mary constituency. Another gem that we have gotten from the September 3rd election. God bless the people in St. Mary that did the right thing. Patricia Balgrove, big up. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. Wow.
Afternoon. This is Christopher Brown, your member of Parliament for South East St. Mary. Actually, from the background, you're seeing it's Tuesday, and I'm actually in the Parliament. And we just had a meeting of the Public Accounts Committee, and we are in a break now, preparing for the 2 p.m. start of the Parliament. While I was here, I got a call, actually in the committee meeting, that the Council for the Richmond Division, Mr. Richard Creary, was on a radio program making some allegations about dishonesty on my part relating to principally some water being distributed in the Cane Heap district area of my constituency and of his division. I want to make it fundamentally clear that I stand, and you referenced my TikTok posting, and people can go there and view what was stated there. But I want to make it categorically clear that what was stated in that TikTok about the situation as it relates to the trucking of the water to the residents and in Cane Square is factual. Now, I hear that he says that he has made calls and people have said that what I have said there is not so. But the country understands, and civil servants and public servants are weary because of a crusade of discrimination, intimidation, and victimization that has overtaken the management of the country and the agencies. So, of course, that response will be given to Mr. Creary. But I stand by that in terms of delivering. The people reached out to me, and I made that call, and I'm grateful to the authorities for responding to the call, because I'm about helping and supporting the requests and representing the people. You know, I understand Mr. Creary's frustration. Local government elections are upcoming. We are structured in terms of 3 JLP and 1 PNP. Mr. Creary was a former mayor of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation. He's no longer the mayor. He has been the councillor for 23 years in the Richmond Division. He was a senior member of the leadership of the former MP's campaign. In fact, he's a Deputy General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party. And it was important for him, which he committed, to have delivered Southeastern St. Mary for the columns of the Jamaica Labour Party in the recent elections. So it is understandable, his frustration, and to move to now come on radio to accuse me of misleading information. I stand by those comments. I think the people of Southeast St. Mary and the people of Jamaica, all told, simply wants the government to work. They simply want the state to work. They are tired of the East Council Road, East Council Water System, East Council do this, East Council do that, versus MP do that. They simply want their garbage to be collected. They want their lights, the light poles to be fixed. They want proper water systems whereby they can have a shower, they can cook their food, they can have water to go about their daily tasks. They want when they go to the hospitals, for affordable and quality access to health care. They want, when they send the children to school, the children get the best education, and that the children come back safely to them. They simply want, they're tired of hearing that it is the MP's drain, it is the council's drain. They simply want the things to be done. And I am here about delivering on behalf of the people of Southeast and St. Mary. So I expect all these chatter, and I expect the anger, and I expect the frustration from Mr. Creary. And remember, it is 3 versus 1. I have 3 JLP councillors and 1 PNP councillor. And I, with the support and the confidence of the people, was able to successfully defeat 3 and the incumbent. I am now the representative of every single Southeast and St. Mary resident, whether they voted for me or whether they didn't vote for me. Whether they are PNP, GLP, NOP, whatever denomination they support, I am their MP. And I will be delivering for every single one of them without any colored glasses to look through. So they can rest assured that this member of parliament will answer to their calls, will represent them to the best of my ability, and will ensure that we have a better Richmond division, a better Castleton division, a better Annotto Bay division, and a better Belfield division. So I'm not fearful of Mr. Curry. And when that time comes, we will go back to the electorate for the local government elections. And I know that he will now be there because those elections are coming up. He has been there for 23 years. And the results of the last general elections at the divisional level would have caused some concern for him. And so I'm not surprised. But he can rest assured that this member of parliament will continue to represent the people of Richmond Division from Freetown in the hills to Richmond in the plains, to Cromwelland, to Rock River, to Comfort Valley, to Zion Hill, to Elliott, to Richmond Road, to Louisburg, to Brenner, to Story River. You name the Richmond districts in the Richmond Division. I am their member of parliament, and I will represent them every day, every week, without reference to politics, and always putting their interests first. Afternoon.
Jamaica, the councillor for the JLP vex said the PMP man I do the work for everybody because he's interested in maintaining power that he had for 20 odd years. So he go up on radio chat foolishness. So here comes Mr. Omar Christopher Brown. I think this is the video will make him vex. Listen to this. No, we don't want the music.
This is the situation presently today, Saturday, April 25th, in the afternoon.
Mighty
that
God.
is happening in Richmond town in the constituency. Specifically, the residents of Richard Creary Lane have been really badly affected. As you can see, the river is very aggressive and has threatened and in fact done serious damage.
The water is eating away at the side of the foundation of the house. If that continues, that house is going to collapse. And the house is a 2-story building. And I hit him at talk about.
A police station.
You take a turn off from the Enfield Crossroad and come up outside of Annotto Bay. So we're in the very deep hills. And as you can see, there's a lot of vegetation, lush. And it's a nice area, very suitable and very prime for ecotourism. Here you take a turn. 1993. And we get light 1994. Yeah, man. Yeah. Same time that we get like when the truck then come, up with me and Georgie. Yes. The next one will tell us if you follow Harry footsteps, you can't rock. Yes. Me and my two will go away. Jump off of one truck when the truck comes back from the cover. Yes. So that was 1993 and get light 1992. Alright. And I want to big up Rowan. Yeah, man. Call it otherwise. Rowan, yeah. Yeah. Waterloo. Yeah. But Rowan is a man we call me anytime anything wrong on Finsbury Road. And he don't wait on me to tell him to do anything. 1993. Yeah, man.
May I try find the video of
all
them
week
vex.
this week I have been trying to get the road up at Kingsbury sorted out based on the bad state that it has been in. I talked to the NAA, the I talked to the
man, never go start look for Mr. Chris Brown. This a man here work, man. And film constituency, you know, when you have the hilly terrain and the rain and the vegetation and the road them done bad already in a St. Mary. It's gonna take a transformational attempt, you know. Forget St. Mary back on track, you know. But this man work with limited resources. Man. But I saw a video with a truck. Let me see what the caption says, because look like I caption bond them. It's the simple thing that makes the biggest difference. I just making a call. I just making a call and see the authorities. Oh, so as a call in making the people and get water. Oh, this a video, but you have music on it. So the caption. So that's why now the man come on radio now, the councillor, and that's why Chris Brown have to answer him, because apparently this area is a JLP area. You understand what I say? That are the context. Okay. I could play this back again a little faster. Now I understand what I go on.
It's Christopher Brown, I'm a member of Parliament for South East St. Mary. Actually, from the background, you're seeing it's Tuesday, and I'm actually in the Parliament. And we just had a meeting of the Public Accounts Committee, and we are in a break now, preparing for the 2 p.m. start of the Parliament. While I was here, I got a call, actually in the committee meeting, that the Council for the Richmond Division, Mr. Richard Creary, was on a radio program making some allegations about dishonesty on my part relating to principally some water being distributed in the Cane Heat district area of my constituency and of his division. I want to make it fundamentally clear that I stand and reference my TikTok posting.
Yes.
And people can go there and view what was stated there.
Yes.
But I want to make it categorically clear that what was stated in that TikTok about the situation as it relates to the trucking of the water to the residents and in Caney Square is factual. Now, I hear that he says that he has made calls and people have said that what I have said there is not so. But the country understands, and civil servants and public servants are wary because of a crusade of discrimination, intimidation, and victimization that has overtaken the management of the country and the agencies. So, of course, that response will be given to Mr. Creary. But I stand by that in terms of delivering. The people reached out to me, and I made that call, and I'm grateful to the authorities for responding to the call, because I'm about helping and supporting the requests and representing the people.
Yes.
You know, I understand Mr. Creary's frustration.
Yes.
Local government elections are upcoming.
Yes.
We are structured in terms of 3 JLP and 1 PNP. Mr. Creary was a former mayor of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation. He's no longer the mayor.
Mighty God.
He has been the council for 23 years.
Yes.
In the Richmond Division. He was a senior member of the leadership of the former MP's campaign.
Yes.
In fact, he's the Deputy General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party. And it was important for him, which he committed, to have delivered South East and St. Mary for the columns of the Jamaica Labour Party in the recent elections.
Yes.
So it is understandable, his frustration, and to move to now common radio to accuse me of misleading information. I stand by those comments. I think the people of South East St. Mary and the people of Jamaica, all told, simply wants the government to work. They simply want the state to work. They're tired of the East Council role, East Council water system, East Council do this, East Council do that, versus MP do that. They simply want their garbage to be collected. They want their lights, the light poles to be fixed. They want proper water systems whereby they can have a shower, they can cook their food, they can have water to go about their daily tasks. They want when they go to the hospitals for affordable and quality access to health care. They want when they send their children to school, the children get the best education, and that the children come back safely to them. They simply want, they're tired of hearing that it is the MP's drain, it is the council's drain. They simply want the things to be done. And I am here about delivering on behalf of the people of South East and St. Mary. So I expect all these chatter and I expect the anger.
Jamaica, the man I make you know, so the man is a sore loser. All that power he had, right? So him coming out chatting nonsense on the radio about misinformation. And the MP I make him know, say, I stand by my comments because they are true. But we're going to move on. I want to go back because you see, oftentimes when I criticize the Prime Minister of Jamaica, you must first go back to statements made. And I am dedicating this segment to Mr. Wayne Lonesome. Thank you, sir, for your continued work on this app, on these platforms, and educating us. Jamaica, listen to Andrew Honest. 3 minutes. Listen to Andrew Honest for 3 minutes. And think about the Naira bill when listening to him. Listen to this. This was 9 years ago. March 8, 2017. For context, let's go.
Our ability to grow the economy is not far-fetched. In fact, economic growth is not new to Jamaica. History records that between 1962 and 1970, our GDP growth rate was 5.31%. The problem is that sustained economic growth has been elusive. Therefore, we must identify a sustained path to economic growth and job creation.
So, this is him backing up Leachin, Nigel Clark, and his 5 in 4. That's what he's defending, you know. Listen.
17. Our GDP growth rate was 5.
Why it's so low? I don't like them low over there, you know. Sure.
In fact, economic growth is not new to Jamaica. History records that between 1962 and 1970, our GDP growth rate was 5.31%. The problem is that sustained economic growth has been elusive. Therefore, we must identify a sustained path to economic growth and job creation. This administration has one task: unleash the economic potential and utilize the incredible energy, enterprise, and industry of the Jamaican people for economic growth and shared prosperity.
Well, remember this? Leachin, the man from Sandals, and Nigel Clark and Andrew Honest are hit him a defend. He is defending that they can do it. Jamaica, they have not done it. They could never do it. You can't have a corrupt government and grow the economy. Madness. Let's continue.
That is why the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation was created and conceptualized.
Yes.
To facilitate growth with the slogan, achieving prosperity through economic growth and sustainable development. The amalgamation of approximately 50 agencies is a deliberate move to focus our efforts on sustainable economic growth.
Jamaica, you hear that? 50 agencies is in the office of the Prime Minister. 50! These were the signs that we were not looking at. Andrew Honest has concentrated the power of those 50 agencies in the Naira bill. So he can do anything he wants to do. And keyword is anything, with no legal implications. And we have to foot the bill. Even the legal fee, if it gets there for the CEO or any staff.
It is important that we align our policies to meet the mission of this administration, to create a Jamaican economy which consistently meets or exceeds its growth targets while providing meaningful jobs and economic opportunities for all in a sustainable manner.
He has failed in every regard. I just wanted to point that out. Everything he's saying right now, his government has failed. This was 2017. Everything he's saying failed. So moving the 50 agencies in his office of the Prime Minister has yielded none of these things that he promised. 5 in 4, none of it.
The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation focuses on critical portfolio areas where investment, foreign and local, is buttressed by the provision of housing, access to water, and proper infrastructure, availability of land for residential and commercial development, but with due regard given to preserving our environment as well as climate change, which has a potential to derail our plans for economic growth if we fail to adapt to its impacts. In achieving our goals, it is imperative that we create ecosystems of growth where every single Jamaican can contribute to the process and reap the benefits. One of our 8 initiatives in the 5 and 4 target of the Economic Growth Council speaks to bureaucratic reforms, that is, to improve the business environment. This is important because we must cut the red tape and provide the right regulatory environment for investors. Consequently, we must address the slow pace of implementation of government projects, which saps the vibrancy of the economy and contributes to the missed opportunities. I believe that as we work together, we create a strong, cohesive, productive, harmonious, and peaceful Jamaica that is truly the place of choice to live, work, raise families, do business, and retire in paradise. I have every confidence in the excellent team on board to get the job done. I have already seen evidence of what they can accomplish through vision, strategic planning, focus, hard work, and commitment. Together, let's transform Jamaica.
No transformation of any positive kind happen, ladies and gentlemen. Big up yourself. Thanks for the follow. Yvonne, bless you, bless you, bless you. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, that was an accident. That was an accident, alright? Shernet, how you doing? Splash DG night place, my general. What? I will splash DG at that. What? Where are you dealing with my boss?
My general. Big up Nika Slims in that chat.
Oh, are your girlfriend that?
Parry that, man.
Oh, you're parry. Okay. Nika Slims, big up yourself, mama.
That is it.
No, the 4-in-1 thing, you know, anti-tiny. It never materialized. You know, the man say 50 agency there in the office of Prime Minister. So,
one plan is a vision, Bolo.
brother, the same thing the man do with the Naira bill.
It's a vision. You see it?
The man concentrate all of the powers them at every regulatory agency in the Naira bill. So what is going to happen to those agencies? After a time, they're going to dissolve them, you know? Oh, no, say they say it go.
All of them.
All of them are going to get dissolved. All of those persons that worked in those areas. Just, when you go look for our next job, if the JLP still in a power, I can't tell you that. Look another job.
In fact, all of them better not show them party colors in a certain
Mighty God. Political victimization. Can't get no work.
Certain work you can't go come out and talk these facts.
Yes.
You can't have these conversations with boss or somebody in your own workplace because you don't know who is who. You see? So for example, nationwide with Malawi Ford. One stand, the lady think. One stand.
Yeah, man, them bully are wicked, bro. You can't see it.
That's a Bolo. So, you have to look at these things. Nothing where them talk about on paper is actually a plan. It's just actually a vision for them.
Or something for just sell you so you hold on pan for your vote for them.
There's an argument to sell you. As it comes.
But more continue upon the Naira bill because I have a whole heap of audio for play now. Because when name Cleveland Tomlinson, deal with them wicked. But make we hear this from the news. Yes, sir. Listen to this.
The opposition argued during the debate that the bill as drafted allows the minister, a titled minister, sometimes referred to as the prime minister, we've heard civil society say is an incongruence in that bill, give direction to the authority and the authority shall comply. The opposition spokesman on agriculture called it executive control dressed as independent oversight. Is that a fair characterization of what the legislation actually says from the opposition's perspective?
So I have no issue with none of the groups, whether the 28 civil society bodies, the opposition, nobody has an issue with having a national reconstruction body. We have seen where the efficiencies that such a body brings to reconstructive efforts, if done properly, leads to timely time return to life for persons affected. The issue that we have is that the government has gone around the world and has selected the worst possible iteration of a reconstructed body when it comes to oversight. They have concentrated power in the hands of a CEO that the cabinet, the prime minister essentially appoints, and that CEO appoints his own auditor, and the cabinet decides on the projects that are to be implemented and gives it to that CEO to implement. Now, there is no parallel to that at all in the world. That concentration of power into the hands of the CEO and the minister who directs him, it doesn't exist. The leader of government business, Floyd Green, had said that they look at the New Zealand model. The New Zealand, first of all, if you're looking at country governance issues, you can't compare Jamaica and New Zealand. By Transparency International's own ranking system, Jamaica is a flawed democracy because you are looking at New Zealand, that is ranked about 4th in the world. Jamaica is ranked.
You have to go over the other page, nuts.
So we have a corruption problem in Jamaica.
More in the middle, to be very fair, given Transparency International's latest ranking, more in around the middle of countries. But that distinction that you have made, that New Zealand is very much at the top, and Jamaica is not next door to New Zealand.
And their accountability and governance framework is way better than Jamaica. Because we are seeing everyday examples of poor governance in Jamaica.
But Dr. Dawes,
you a CEO who refuses to go to
Why
parliament.
that lady cut the man every minute? What, yeah, is this a debate, or are you asking him for his opinion? Can he finish?
To face the music after presiding over $500 million worth of procurement documents missing. We're talking about a routine use of emergency procurement, ignoring GOVT, fragmentation of contracts across ministries.
But this is a concern that the opposition had raised prior to NARA's now relaying and retabling in Parliament and even before the vote. You lost the vote.
They've ignored.
But you lost the vote last night with the opposition now looking at this bill move to the Senate. Is there anything that you believe, what's the strategy now for the Senate to see if some of these changes that you've identified can still be incorporated?
If they have not changed it in the lower house, they're not going to change it in the Senate. The fact of the matter is that they have used their majority to steamroll all opposition, no matter how the private sector has expressed concerns, no matter how civil society and the opposition have expressed concerns. The government has used their majority. And the only two meaningful changes they have made is the timing of the financials. And this is after the fact.
So, that is CVM, and that is Mr. Dr. Alfred Dawes laying down the law. Let's go to a clip here.
A CEO acts on the approval. A colleague's appreciation of corporate structure is very unfortunate, Leon, because a CEO is a creature of a board. A CEO acts on the approvals granted by a board. What we find in the NARA bill is that the CEO can authorize under seal by his signature alone. There is no requirement for co-signatory. So the CEO can authorize and can execute binding.
Hold on.
Contracts to the.
She's saying it's deliberate makes it right. But that's deliberate. Duh. Then put it in the bill. What you mean it's deliberate? You're not saying anything. Like your picture, bro. Eh? You're not saying anything. Right? One Dr. Dawes, alright? You know, so nothing. Why are you cutting the young man? All you're saying is that is facts the man attack. And the facts that he's speaking of is very concerning to well-thinking Jamaicans. Very concerning. Let's play it again.
A colleague's appreciation of corporate structure is very unfortunate, Leon, because a CEO is a creature of a board. A CEO acts on the approvals granted by a board. What we find in the NARA bill is that the CEO can authorize under seal by his signature alone. There is no requirement for co-signatory. So the CEO can authorize and can execute binding contracts to the tune of billions of dollars with no dual requirement. But let's examine the...
Miss, why is she talking? What is wrong with this lady? What is wrong with Bruce Golden daughter? Why she cut the man? Eh? Take down splash digit. Yo, why she cut the man? It is deliberate. Yes, your government deliberately put a bill together that enables them to thief. You deliberately did that. Okay. Like, we have to let the man speak, for crying out loud.
Dual signing requirement. So the CEO's signature alone, a single individual can bind the state without any limit. This brings significant exposure to abuse and limit it.
To facilitate speed of process and speed of
No, it is unfortunate given the significant amount of money that that this entity will be managing, and given the many questionable acts that we have seen coming out of several Auditor General's report, in particular the UIT. But I must respond to this argument there, because they have said that there is oversight in place. Let's look at the oversight that they have provided. JAMROC. JAMROC is an
Doreen, I cannot give you medical advice as to go to your doctor's appointment or not tomorrow. You have to figure that out. Is it critical? You have to figure that out.
Advisory board. JAMROC has no statutory legal power in the bill. The bill. I will tell you the dichotomy, because I know you're not sure about the dichotomy between EPOC and JAMROC. JAMROC has no authority. In fact,
What can go so?
Embarrassing.
He needs some milk.
She doesn't know the dichotomy of epoch. Damn.
Bill, I will tell you the dichotomy, because I know you're not sure about the dichotomy. Is an advisory board. JAMROC has no statutory legal power in the bill. The bill. I will tell you the dichotomy, because I know you're not sure about the dichotomy between EPOC and JAMROC. JAMROC has no authority. In fact, JAMROC can be dissolved. The minister or the CEO doesn't have to engage with JAMROC. JAMROC is more performative than substantive in any particular regard.
Damn, bro. Wow.
So the bill.
Government has said no. We heard oversight.
Right, that is significantly lacking. So the bill.
Government has said no. We heard Christoph done in that clip saying Auditor General, Parliament is going to be giving oversight, PAAC.
Okay, let's respond to those points made. The Auditor General's report will come after the fact. After the misuse of resources, the potential misuse of resources, after the potential corruption and error in judgment. The bill makes no provision for an audit committee, an internal auditor, or clear risk management functions that would provide ongoing assessment throughout the process of the implementation of many of the projects. So what happens is that you have given this entity a legal personality without any sort of clear governance architecture. This lends itself to an abuse. For example, Diane, there is no board in place. A statutory body, every public body in Jamaica has a board. I work in the private sector. We cannot operate. FSC would not grant my company the license if we do not have a structured board in place. And then what the bill does is that it concentrates significant authority in the CEO without any sort of independent oversight. That is a recipe for disaster. Then you also have step-in provisions whereby a minister can overturn a decision made by an independent statutory authority on the advice or recommendation or desire of NARA. So what happens is that, for example, NEPA can provide a ruling that is not in favor of NARA, and the minister can overturn that. What that does is give executive veto on the powers and the authority of independent statutory organizations.
Okay. So Jamaica, like the situation that I read in the article, that the Constitutional Court overturned Andrew Holness' decision to grant the license to the company for mining at the place. We're going to increase the health hazard of the people that live there. NARA would be able to do that. And legally so too. Circumvent NEPA. Environmental protection of us. That is just one example in Jamaica.
Bolo, one of the main targets, I believe this bill set fire in a board, and we are going to hear more about it before this year end. And it's the a compound town.
Brother, were you there? You didn't listen to my life. I said it before. When I mentioned the article about NEPA, and I locked it into NARA, the article about the place where Andrew give the company. What them name Bengal? What? Let me look back on it. Hold on there. I'm so fine. I have it right to say no. Bengal sure. Go on talk. But me did say it already, man. Me say it already. Go on talk.
Targets are those places where you never get to accomplish within the last 2 years. I said from COVID, the past 5 years, you never get to run over these places.
Yes.
Just take again here, Dr. Dayton Campus said 25 residents. Dayton are Nikisha Burchell.
Oh yeah, Nikisha Burchell said 25 homes for the resident them. Nikisha Burchell.
It's just a permit was not granted.
Right. But we have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news, breaking news. We have an official statement from Dr. Angela Brown-Burke in an interview with the Gleaner. Let me play it for you.
I start by accepting that my actions on Tuesday did not accord with acceptable parliamentary procedure. I also acknowledge under the circumstances that the decision of the House is in keeping with the standing orders. Having said that, however, it arose in the context of a heated discussion that we were having around a critical piece of legislation and our attempts to be heard under the circumstances. And I think context matters while we uphold the rules of the House. At the same time, I would not want that to distract unduly from the important points that we were making about the lack of transparency and accountability, the kind of unfettered powers that we saw with NARA, because it's trillions of dollars we're talking about. That is a debt to be borne by us and our children and grandchildren, and we want to make sure that we are doing it right and that we are putting in the safeguards that are required.
One Angela Brown-Burke. Nothing more to be said. Yes, I accept it was wrong, but what was even wronger was not being able to be heard for a bill that is this important, because the Speaker of the House was being partisan. She was being partisan. She was not being bipartisan. So that came out like 3 minutes ago on the Gleaner. So may I play it one more time for you to hear the Queen voice, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke. One more time.
I start by accepting that my actions on Tuesday did not accord with acceptable parliamentary procedure. I also acknowledge under the circumstances that the decision of the House is in keeping with the standing orders. Having said that, however, it arose in the context of a heated discussion that we were having around a critical piece of legislation and our attempts to be heard under the circumstances. And I think context matters while we uphold the rules of the House. At the same time, I would not want that to distract unduly from the important points that we were making about the lack of transparency and accountability.
Same thing I was saying. Don't be distracted, ladies and gentlemen. They want to distract us from the NARA bill. The NARA bill is the news, not she taking up the mace. The NARA bill.
The kind of unfettered powers that we saw with NARA, because it's trillions of dollars we're talking about. That is a debt to be borne by us and our children and grandchildren. And we want to make sure that we are doing it right and that we're putting in the safeguards that are required.
That's right.
I start by accepting that
Big up Dr. Angela Brown-Burke. Sorry. Dr. Angela Brown. Alright? Yes, Splash DJ. We hear from the Queen. But Digi, you're supposed to feel proud, man. Eh? What a MP have, man. Mighty God. Why, may I tell you, say your constituency is supposed to feel so proud. The man, why, may I tell you, why? No, man, I know him alone, man, but no, you're supposed to feel proud, brother. May I tell you the truth? You're supposed to feel proud. Believe you me. Wonder, man.
You remember the bulldozing when them start bulldozing out of Port Royal illegal.
Port Royal.
Societies. With these bill passed, the Naira bill passed, look back for that to be.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's think about that. Wouldn't it be just the projects that Naira would be embarking on that they would have say over?
No. The bill is...
Them can look for any
project.
No, that's serious. The possibilities are endless then for corruption.
Right. Alright then now. Well, next thing will come to mind again is co-based property. Just start look for development start within them places. Property. We can now look for fencing and these signs through this Naira bill.
Mighty God.
And any development.
Mighty God.
They have a mixed project where them say them are tried with one Portland project. All of these projects.
Yes.
So, when you look into what I tell them now, you see these MP, all who was at the long time standing with Andrew HOLNESS.
Yes.
MPs that are going to be paid off.
You feel so, no? I can't wrong your boy. I can't wrong if you feel so, brother.
It's only one person I'm going to shed back more light to this Naira bill. And I feel it soon come around Everald Warmington.
Yes, sir. Listen to me. Warmington, let me tell you something. Warmington are just like them. Brother Warmington just want to know, say, him get to him want in the general.
The projects, them, where me I look on, where the government have inside, especially when I reach them at St. Elizabeth yet, the smart city, where they don't want to give the people them the permits. Then.
Yes.
So, the whole harbor are within the vicinity that whole harbor in that building. Bolo. So, me just say, Warmington never be the one who are going to come out and speak out.
Well, I'm not argue with you. Make we see what happen. But yeah, the unconstitutional court strikes down Bengal mining permit in the Dry Harbor Mountains. Andrew HOLNESS gave them the permit after the authority, the governing bodies, didn't give them. Andrew said, I am the minister. Me are the minister for this something, and I overturn. See there, Andrew HOLNESS acting in his capacity as minister with responsibility for National Resource Conservation Authority had overturned the agency's rejection of Bengal development mining application. So we are going to say this is incompetent. No, this is purpose. And it need to be investigated where that company is concerned. There needs to be an independent investigation to find out what could have motivated Andrew HOLNESS to jeopardize the health of the people in this area. just to give this entity a permit that clearly they should not have gotten under the Constitution. He's not protecting the man is the Prime Minister and he's not protecting the citizens. So can you imagine the Nara bill, how far he will go with that? But let's continue, because I whole it more me have to talk about right now with this government.
No, actually, we had 30 concerns, and when I looked through the amendments, the 20 amendments, roughly 2 of those concerns were addressed, so substantially the remaining and the more critical concerns regarding the lack of accountability and the poor governance structure is significantly unaddressed, and that is what will lead to potential corruption, misuse, and just the broad lack of accountability.
The amendments.
No.
Jamaica. So after the People's National Party came out with extensive, constructive criticism of the Nara bill clause by clause, they were wrong and strong, just like what Mark Golding said they would be, wrong and strong. And they still passed the bill and only amended 2 clauses. Listen to what the man say again now. Listen to Mr. Cleveland Tomlinson. Listen to this. 1 second. You listen to this.
The amendments.
No, actually, we had a list of roughly 30 concerns, and when I looked through the amendments, the 20 amendments, roughly 2 of those concerns were addressed, so substantially the remaining and the more critical concerns regarding the lack of accountability and the poor governance structure is significantly unaddressed, and that is what will lead to potential corruption.
So they did not address the critical concerns. Out of 30 concerns, them only amend 2. So basically the Nara bill is exactly how it was. An attempt of criminality, an intention of criminality, a power that can be used for criminality and corruption without any legal prosecution. Hashtag the perfect scam. Mighty God of Daniel, trillions of dollars, and we pay for that with interest. And nobody can get locked up. Jamaica will have to rise up. Tomorrow, may I tell you, outside of a doctor's appointment, nobody not go nowhere. Everybody go live on TikTok. I don't business if you have one somebody on the TikTok. Jump on the TikTok, have a discussion, go through the thing them, and voice on concerns about the thing. Let your voices be heard. Rise up on a voice in concert, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Put out a video on the TikTok. 10-minute video. 2 10-minute video. And the labor right them that a grow on conscience. May I expect for soon more on the app than everybody else. Only for raising a voice in concert against the government. You remember when them Aunt Jones say, don't come to with that nonsense. You elect a government, you must hold them accountable. So when you elect Aunt Jones, so you better hold them accountable, you know. Fool voice supposed to be the loudest more than even me. Because I never vote for him. You understand? I'm afraid to say that. Never vote for him. Let's go to the next clip, guys. Mighty God of Daniel, only 2 out of... That is significant. Please remember, only 2 out of 30 amendments was amended in the bill. 30 concerns, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. Wow.
Suspend for say 2 weeks, take submissions, and if a joint select committee have it very time bound. Government said neither of that was necessary. Spoke to Floyd Green today, leader of government business. He said government has been listening to all the feedback and reading the submissions that had been sent, so none of that was necessary.
Well, when you hear from civil society in the second half of this interview, Dion, you will realize that many of the amendments that were pushed through by the government do not address the concerns by civil society and those raised by the opposition. The optimal approach to passing a legislation of this nature was to have subjected it to a review by a joint select committee of parliament, where it could benefit from the broad input from civil society and other stakeholders who'd want to
The key word used there is objective. This is a dictatorial move by the Jamaica Labour Party. Them don't care what civil society say. All 28 of them, they no business. The man them has light the match to destroy democracy with the Nara bill. And then right now, moving forward, you know, say I throw them out, throw fuel upon the fire. This person say house burned down, I don't see them. As we are building, them come to stop. We from Bill, how would they write it Brown Eyes Destiny I said to me. So what you tell me say? Your house burned down. They must stop you from rebuild it. How would the backside of going to Jamaica? Yo, no man.
Fine. There are significant flaws in the legislation in its current draft, in its current form.
Let me ask you one thing though, because for instance, JET and JFJ sent to Parliament a 22-page submission. Other groups have sent letters and so on. Doesn't that address the issue of inviting in and getting feedback?
No, except that there are some explanations and interpretation that would require in-person explanation and the presence of the respective parties that are positing that. And then beyond, just a submission via paper.
Jamaica. So, Brown Eyes say them need to get a survey and blueprint and the whole works. So, you're supposed to do that. You know what the Nara bill do? This government don't have to get none of those things. They can just do what they want to do. Them literally can break all of the rules them in the Nara construction because them feel like it. And they will not go to prison for it. But you, the poor man, have to get a blueprint and survey and all that or something. Mighty God. You have to follow procedure, but not the wealthy, not the government, not Andrew and his wife. Do you know that Juliet HOLNESS could potentially, I can almost guarantee that she's going to benefit from this bill significantly with her own wealth? Me can guarantee, remember so she in a construction, me can guarantee say Juliet HOLNESS is going to benefit significantly from this Nara bill if it continue without any opposition. I'm telling you.
A joint select committee of parliament requires you to have more than one meeting. So what you will have is a consistent and rigorous examination of the recommendations that are proposed by the civil society and the different agencies, JFJ and JET, for example. But when you simply submit a recommendation by paper, it doesn't lend itself to a rigorous examination that could have been achieved through a joint select committee of parliament. We have done this when we have contentious legislations, controversial legislations. So I don't understand why the government would refuse to execute on this. The argument from the Prime Minister...
I tell you, say, I have to big up Cleveland Tomlinson. Virgin, young man, you are making us so proud, my brother. You have made us so proud. Go through Splashage, what you say?
One of the things where is really puzzling to me in the Bolo is that I can't understand if all the ministers in the government ministers is deaf to the voice of the people. Alright, you're not in the mood with the opposition, you don't want to hear from the opposition. But I believe they must have a family member who have the same concerns. They must have neighbors who them tight with who have the same concerns, associates who have the same concerns. And they tell me there is nothing more concerning to the people, this party, government would listen. Bolo. It's really puzzling, and the people them still sit down, not saying anything. I'm support the argument. People them for just do a day of protest, bro. One day of money not kill you because you work 1 month and the money not survive same way. So you losing a day of money, it don't make no difference to me right now. So for protest, bro.
Me hear what you say still, but you'd be surprised, my brother. You'd be surprised how much money they lose in a one day.
Of course.
You would be surprised. If the majority of Jamaica decides that they're going to sit down today, you would be surprised. And we do it one day. We're not going to just do it one day. We do it one day and then we do it all one whole weekend. You understand what I say? But let's start somewhere. Let's have some type of solidarity. Don't throw cold water upon the protest. Let's have some solidarity. I tell you, you wouldn't believe, brother, how much money they would have lose in a one day, bro.
It's clear in a Bolo. It's only within the jail, the JLP government, you see. Crime is not a factor.
Yeah, man.
Transparency is not a factor. Accountability is not a factor.
That's true.
You see, the rich have a different law than the poor, than the regular businessman. You hear the man say, you open a business, it have to be properly structured in order to get that business license.
Meanwhile, Jamaica $700 million worth of cocaine seized off the coast of Westmoreland. Mighty God. 23 hours ago. With all that's going on, the drug state, you know, Jamaica is the hub for the drug trade. Jesus, please. $700 million Jamaican. Damn. That's crazy. But me have more things to share because me I tell you say the way how Mr. Lonesome deal with that situation, boy, me I tell you. Is that thing when me have to share, Reggie. Listen to this.
Doesn't tell about the red tape and everything and what I'm doing. Make we hear when say yes or no yesterday. But Nara.
Concern about centralization is the term used.
It is.
That NARA seems to centralize power and authority in, sometimes the criticism is centralizes it in the CEO or centralizes it in the minister. In the executive model, it is a deliberate strategy. The whole idea was that the diffusion of the responsibility is what caused the lack of performance, because you can't point on anyone to say you are responsible.
Hold on. You can't point on anyone and say you are responsible. What comes with responsibility? Isn't there sanctions for your actions? In the bill, there's no sanctions for nobody actions. The man them can't act and there's no accountability. You can't carry them if you carry them to court, it's not going to make no sense because they are not legally liable for anything wrong. So what the hell is this man talking about?
Listen that. Every ministry, it breaks down. So you can't who and hold them accountable. Every ministry.
Simple. I crap him attack, yes.
Even if they're at school and you run it to the principal and you run it to the vice principal, even at the police force, you can't find who. The buck stop with the commissioner.
That is it.
Yeah?
That is it.
And you can't run it from who. Every ministry, everything where you do, you can't find who you were responsible. When I talk about before, you can't find anyone. That is bullshit. So the man take them for don't scam, don't stop. In reasonability that murder talk to that is food.
Facts.
My better sense. Yes? When my talk is bullcrap, continue.
And so when Dr. Carlton Davies crafted it, the rationale was to ensure that responsibility is not diffused. That there is one focal point for which accountability can be effective. That was the idea. And I would want Jamaicans...
No, that's a bullshit again. As I said before, him have the economic growth and job creator and the supersede everything. Superior over everything. And it failed Jamaica.
Black Loki, you crazy, bro.
Not make the difference. And the same thing no matter where they duplicate it. But then, what will I pay the minister them for? Why would I pay them? Fire them. If now you get two little people come to the minister them job, or the agency them job, fire them then.
But that's exactly what me I say. They say it are going to lead to. It are going to dissolve all of the responsibility of all of the agencies. The persons them are working at the agency, them at some point, their purpose is going to become null and void. You hear them say it's what? It's temporary, but is it really? Them can, just like how it was temporary to pull the money from the it was temporary to pull the money from the NHT, and they keep pulling the money from the NHT. What is going to change in this case? We see the track record with the JLP, you know. Totally go against something and then do the same thing when them go against. Or tell us that they're not going to do something and do the exact same thing that they are liars, Jamaica. Right? The Andrew Holness is pathologically mendacious. He cannot be trusted. And we cannot lose focus that the man don't even certified. We don't even know if the man making money legally. How can you trust a man like this? To craft a bill and pass a bill and enforce a bill like this with no guardrails. Dry eye, man. Dry eye.
Take up and go pay a CEO and pay next because the man them get you and they go wrap some money. Don't make no sense. Fire them. You don't go tell us they're incompetent and them never do that enough because you couldn't have a super ministry. 50 agency and you feel the place like this. So you're coming back on here now, right? Don't make no sense. You know what it don't make no sense, brother?
And that's one key point. Because Andrew Holness have a super ministry. 50 agency there in Andrew Holness. 50 agency there in Andrew Holness office. How has it performed under Andrew Holness? Hasn't done well. The capital budget has been underspent. It has not done well, Jamaica. Bridges need to be fixed. It has not done well. It has not done well.
And I think the dictatorship, remember, I have a super agency already where I'm a dictator, you know. But it failed. Him carry leeching or leeching run from him. Him carry Adam Stewart in there to them run. Eh? You hear what them never cut the red tape and want them at one and to create everything and oh, you live in a paradise. I must say paradise plum. You remember Mike, you remember paradise plum? I must say paradise plum, you matter. Continue.
To appreciate that your government is very sensitive.
That's why I tell you, say, yo. Great. No for the music, come on.
To any concentration, any centralization that may lead to unregulated, unwieldy executive power. That's not our intention. But at the same time, Jamaica is in a different phase of its development. And we can claim to be in a different phase of our development because we have gone through a phase of our development where we haven't really analyzed it yet.
So you say you have a thing about you go through a phase of development and you don't really analyze it. So you give people wrong data then. You know, analyze the phase of the development's destruction. You hear what I say? I shoot him say, just listen when the man talk and you can't begin talk, man. You go through a phase of development and you don't analyze it. But you come tell people, one analyze it, do this and do that. In the past the next time. Continue.
So if you go through a phase of development, not analyze it, but then come to a decision that NARA is the best way to go. What? No, brother, this serious, no? I be a garbage you want to talk about time out, no?
In the sense, Madam Speaker, that our accountability, our anti-corruption and oversight framework is probably the most robust in the Caribbean.
What?
I can't say that Caribbean lie.
The same accountability. Hold on, wait. No.
Nah, the way I tell them, say them are Puerto Rico out there, so you know.
Where's that, bro?
I'm trying to figure out how much a man can do for a day. This man is a family man, he is a prime minister, he is a minister, and he is a CEO. How much more work he can take on, so?
I don't know.
This one makes moves. That's all the superminister because he's a superman. The wrong way, so why they take it the wrong way?
Why I don't know, Bridget. I don't know.
But it don't show you.
Sorry about that.
Take too much responsibility.
Yeah, but remember saying in our parliament that's not his wish to do so. In this same speech, you know. Hey man, lie, you know. Man, lie like sin to blows and skirt. No man.
Finance minister of late.
What you say? Am I a finance minister?
Yes, man. We haven't heard from favor since September.
Yes, me say she want to resign, but let's continue.
That'd be a corruption if we have the most robust in the Caribbean. Yeah? That is why I'll be a criminal and thief in within government. Yeah? And within the public sector. All right, continue.
We spend billions of dollars.
Yes.
When you look at, so if you look at our oversight capabilities and what we have built, we have let's start with the Auditor General. Enshrined in our Constitution is high functioning.
High functioning.
Nothing is exempt. And the Auditor General has moved.
Jamaica, do you know how supremely hypocritical this man is? This man is the same person that told the Auditor General in an article that she pretty much does not know she pretty much does not know what she's talking about when she said that they were overlapping in his what them call it, the new social housing program. Want to remember? The man lambasted, criticized the Auditor General. But now he's using her as an example to say, well, you know, the structure is good. Look at the Auditor General. Something is fundamentally wrong with this man. You know, I feel like I'm sick. I feel like I'm have a mental illness. I kid you not. Yeah, man, I really believe that, man. I really believe that. I'm telling you. Serious, no joke.
Post audits. You're doing real-time audits.
So, in the Auditor General, I want to look at them keenly, listen keenly. You must skip. They're agents who hold them accountable. The Auditor General, listen. I see.
They have moved from doing accounting audits to doing performance-based audits.
Yeah.
We have the Integrity Commission.
Hear this.
We have the Corruption Prevention Act.
He not say nothing else about the Integrity Commission. He just clear a line.
Him couldn't so bare face to mention the Integrity Commission. The same Integrity Commission that he decided that he wanted the court to take out the very part of it that dealt with illicit enrichment and that investigation. Jamaica at least he have one shred of shame. Like 1 grain, like you know, you ever see 1 grain of sand yet? Him have 1 grain of shame. Just 1 grain. It doesn't amount to 1% of shame, you know. It's 1% of 1% of shame. Him have. Mighty God.
But the Integrity Commission is going more robust.
Yeah.
He must be a
you mention them.
And jump down to something else.
Thank you, Chantel.
Just notice him now. Yes, thank you.
Which
God
defines
is good.
in a very comprehensive way corruption and as an entity to prosecute it. Outside of that, we have MOCA.
MOCA, see there?
not a part of the IC framework, but acts in that way on specific major organized corruption activity. Then we have the PAAC.
It is now.
Before we go there, so my side on TikTok, we reach 70,000. We need everybody to get way to 85,000 in our next 10 minutes. So everybody tap up the screen one time. Let's go. Me have my timer on now. Next 10 minutes. Let's go.
Bear in mind,
it is
that the PAAC is maybe it's 20 years old now. About 20, maybe 20, yeah.
Just more than 20. Can't say him restarted, but more than that.
I brought the resolution to this house to reinstate the PA.
So if you reinstate something that about maybe it's 20, more than that. Continue.
PAAC. And it has been very effective and was reformed to be the oversight of Parliament of the economic program of the fiscal rules.
Yes, again.
Our budget now must go through the PAAC. There is no entity of government that can escape the oversight of the PAAC, and that body is chaired by the opposition and must continue to be chaired by the opposition.
So the opposition does fight for this. Because them didn't want to chair this. The opposition said no.
Yes, that's true.
Cannot work.
That's
remember,
true.
You know, opposition make them cheer it. Those who come in make the opposition cheer it, them come and opposition make them cheer it, change it. For the first term, them take them around them. If they never put on them to them now, it must continue to cheer by the opposition. And them have to put on them to and say no, it can't work like this.
Yeah, so when do he might give the impression say he's about proper oversight and accountability. But the People's National Party literally had to fight to be the chair of the PAAC. Facts.
Lemons. Remember, they never want to give up that, you know?
Yes, it's true.
Yes, that man tell us that this is how I'm talking to people like them, idiot.
Yeah.
Eh? Remember, what body more panic, you know? Continue.
It is important that it is chaired by the opposition.
I hear the hypocrite them over there. I tap the bench, like say, them never was a part of the moment that they did want to be the head. I want to continue to be the head of the PAAC. And the People's National Party had to put their foot down. Mighty God.
So the oversight function of the government apparatus is significant.
It is.
So when I spoke earlier about ensuring that legislation is efficient, you can't come back here now and then legislate a new framework separate and apart from the framework that is already legislated.
So, but you should come back then and come with a new framework when you have when you have economic growth and job creation.
Exactly.
Shoot himself into it again.
Yeah.
Because you have a super ministry with
50 agency.
So why not come back with a next framework to create a next framework? He does come with what the reach. Well, come with against Spark. No, you come with this. Reach and Spark of the road nationwide. Me not say oceanwide, but nation. In Jamaica, then yes. Not oceanwide. Nationwide, right? Good. Right? So come with that. Yo! The economic growth and job creation, it never needed.
Yes.
Things are going through that.
Yes.
So you come with this now, Nema. You not Nara. That make any sense? And you come through this. And I tell me this when you have a super ministry. With 50 agencies.
50 agencies.
You fail the people there. You have the richest man them in a Jamaica where you say a businessman to trick the people there.
Yes.
5 in 4 and then them bolt.
Bolt and gone.
Bolt.
Cut.
And when you have double bolt, them faster than bolt himself. Nothing not come out of that. And then they come with this bullshit.
Maxine, big up.
Yes, you know, the opposition no want, because we want to build. They have economic growth and job creation, but them fail the people. He control everything in our office. Even the weatherman in control everything in our office. Now come back to him fail is a failure. Him come back to trick people and come back to foolishness. Eh? And them have to take something here, so why that over the economic growth and job creation when it's a
come through my side. Less than 6 minutes left. Let's get to 85,000. We need 9,000 more. Let's go.
Super. It's a super ministry. Eh? People just ask, I just waste some money. I'm only 50 because to me that don't make no sense.
True.
Because The Economic Growth and Job Creation Ministry fail the people them listen.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Fail them.
It's an agency. Remember, you know, minister work there. I'm put up some. I'm going to continue with it. Some put up some. Continue.
What go on there, sir?
Let me get freeze.
Oh,
yeah.
We have a strong framework. Let the framework for oversight work every day. Listen, the persons who are advocates for anti-corruption, they must continue to push. You can't ease up because you don't want government to become relaxed.
Yeah.
But the parliament has to be careful.
James said we can't ease up, so for all them accountable. Because them exam criminal go find them out. We now we're anti this and that. We know we're find them out. Can't it?
That it does not smother and suffocate the effectiveness of the public bureaucracy.
Yeah.
By an overlaying of procedures.
So you right now is an overlaying of agencies and procedures. Exactly. He must say the thing, but that him are doing it.
Feby, big up yourself. This is a classic exposure. This is a class presentation and argument made by Mr. Wayne Lonesome. The man of an agency with 50. In the office of the Prime Minister, he have 50 agencies operate. That is the mother of all overlappings, Jamaica. Let me play it back.
Of procedures.
So right now is an overlaying of agencies.
Yes.
And procedures.
Yes.
He must say the thing, but that him are doing it.
He must do it.
Remember, you know, in run the economic growth and job creation, don't change that. He must all of them, even
Sparky, big up.
Economic growth and job creation.
Chosen, thanks
so
to the
report.
reports.
The next agency, if you do the same thing, we do
make it make sense, no man.
It don't make no sense. And that's what make the super minister for. So the whole of this don't make no sense. So when I'm talking, dedicate to himself. This is garbage. Continue.
That have no relevance to outcomes.
3 minutes left. 3 minutes left.
So we have gone through this phase in our development where we have been highly focused on anti-corruption. We must continue, but we are now going into a different phase where we have to ensure that our bureaucracy is efficient.
But him just say it in an economic growth and job creation, and we just play. Him say I move red tape and do everything. So you come down and talk about to make this and this efficient. Make sense sooner? 10 years plus? My garbage. Continue.
It is not a wiping away or an undermining or a dismissing of the anti-corruption framework. No, we will continue to push that and continue to spend the billions of dollars on it.
Yeah.
But democracy must deliver prosperity.
That's why you have economic things like that. It just shoot himself in foot. It just tells us economic growth and job creation now work it flat.
Bingo. That's the video I play. Hi Celine, how you doing? Wantis, Juanita, Sims, how are you darling? Bless up, bless up, bless up. So the 5 in 4 supposed to do exactly what him said. Here, so play it back.
Of the anti-corruption framework. No, we will continue to push that and continue to spend the billions of dollars on it.
Yeah.
But democracy must deliver prosperity.
That's why you have economic things like that. It just shoot himself in foot. It just tells us economic growth and job creation now work it flat.
So that whole economic growth and job creation thing, it did not deliver what he said it would. He sold it to the people. He had Mr. Leachin and the man from Sandals, you know, at the face of it with him and Nigel Clark, and it is an absolute failure. I don't think him and Leachin are take tea right now. It is an absolute failure, ladies and gentlemen.
So if you have too much it's a super ministry, too much agency and them flap. Where am I going to piece of one? I just a thief money. Give them friends some job. Then they flap, you know. You could have a super ministry like that to everybody report to you. We do much minister and everybody.
1 minute left my side. 1 minute left.
One of them work on that way.
Keep tapping, keep tapping.
And then deliver. And you come with this now, so you can deliver. A duplicate where your super ministry I do. One duplicate for Reach and Sparks I do. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Where someone just take that field money give some other people and rebrand. This is garbage. Continue.
And I am not the only one speaking in frustration about the slow pace of the government.
Hold on. So, him are the only one, him are the government, you know. And so pace of government, instead already when we just pay the economic growth and job creation, the state back. So you talk about so pace. So all you say you go on with good things, now you talk about so pace.
Yo! Got him.
He can't contradict himself.
Got him.
When you back him up like this, when him just hurt himself, you know.
Yes.
Can't take him one moon for him oneself. See?
Embarrassing.
He needs some milk. Not my word, yes, sir. Yeah, man. Continue.
It's said on both sides.
It is.
This is what we meant when we say we have to pivot. So,
you know how long them a pivot? Jamaica, let me tell you something about pivoting. And big up the people, let me reach 85,000. For the next 10-minute push, we are going for the 100,000. Me tell you when we are start. When more everybody for beat up the screen. But yo, you know how long them a pivot, Jamaica? This government has been pivoting. Who watch basketball or netball? You know, say when you're pivoting, there's a time limit for pivoting. The clock is running. In basketball, you have 24 seconds. So if you start pivoting and 24 seconds done, you know, so you lose the ball and the other team will go the next way. How would that overdose? Zine? So, yeah, you turn over your chance. You have to go the next way now the other team get the ball. And this government has been pivoting for prosperity for the longest. And they started pivoting from 2016, you know, because Mama P gave them the economy in such a way that they were already pivoting for economic growth. What they have done is failed to grow the economy, ladies and gentlemen. They have promised 5 in 4, but they have failed miserably. Zine, somebody said Iman Seachin is at odds over NIS money. Mighty God. That's what the taxes them with the big company them have to pay. And that you talk about. Yeah, him today in our interview I talk about that. Zane, him today in our interview I talk about that. Let's continue.
I think I've captured most of the issues.
So you hear that? And if you listen to this, the man tell us I forgot create and build and art and a little bit. Listen that and listen this when it's a right or something. Remember I just said that, now play it back, make him hear himself. Play him back. Play him back and play.
Play him back.
But come on this and listen.
Run it.
Our ability to grow the economy is not far-fetched. In fact, economic growth is not new to Jamaica.
Okay.
History records that between 1962 and 1970, our GDP growth rate was 5.31%.
Hi, Carol.
The problem is that sustained economic growth has been elusive. Therefore, we must identify a sustained path to economic growth and job creation.
Okay.
This administration has one task: unleash the economic potential and utilize the incredible.
Look on that see my unleash the economic potential. Look on the screen. So I'm sure that's catch you know. You say, well, the bank, you know, successful. You say Adams them. You say Adams, Stuart them. Well, them successful. So I'm after them. Them fail with. What for them as a fail with the whole government.
Adam, Stuart, Leachin, Nigel Clark, and HOLNESS. 5 in 4. See, pause there. Failed. Failed Jamaica. Failed.
Fail us. Fail the country miserably. See, no, you come back with some bullshit. For people running back behind us because you want to build place. Look where you draw and them couldn't build no place.
My side, you know, ready? We are going for 100,000 now. If you're not ready, say ready.
Eh? That's not scary. Yeah, listen, continue this.
Energy, enterprise, and industry of the American people for economic growth and shared prosperity. That is why the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation was created and conceptualized.
Okay.
Facilitate growth with the slogan, achieving prosperity through economic growth and sustainable development.
Okay.
The amalgamation of approximately 50 agencies is a deliberate move to focus our efforts on sustainable economic growth. It is important that we align our policies to meet the mission of this administration.
So align the policies to meet the mission. And I'll tell you some cut the red tape. This is a family just going in.
Yeah.
From
2017, he said this enough.
No, you're drafting now and mirror something out of this. It don't make no sense. Let me tell you now, but continue.
Him a reinvent the wheel and a restructure him promise them. And from 2017 till now, the promise never fulfilled. They can't be trusted, Jamaica. Let's continue.
To create.
Oh, my side, ready. 10 more minutes so we can reach 100,000. We are 86,000 likes now. Let's go on the TikTok. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin.
A Jamaican economy which consistently meets or exceeds its growth targets while providing meaningful jobs and economic opportunities for all sustainable. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation focuses on critical portfolio areas where investment, foreign and local, is buttressed by the provision of housing, access to water, and proper infrastructure, availability of land for residential and commercial development, but with due regard given to preserving our environment as well as climate change, which has a potential.
So this, they have to build the country. That's when I ask you, why you come back with these things again? Yeah? Why you come back with it don't make no sense? That's what I tell you, when I come with don't make no sense. This is super ministry, you know. The man does show us super minister, it failed. No, yeah. At that time I say in 10 years, it failed.
Of course.
When come with now, when they come with sparks, number one, they shouldn't come with nothing, but work from within the economic growth and job creation went far. Everybody answer to him. These 15 agencies. But in fear, continue.
To derail our plans for economic growth if we fail to adapt to these impacts. In achieving our goals, it is imperative that we create ecosystems of growth where every single Jamaican can contribute to the process and reap the benefits. One of our 8 initiatives in the 5 and 4 target of the Economic Growth Council speaks to bureaucratic reforms, that is, to improve the business environment. This is important because we must cut the red tape and provide the right regulatory environment.
Ask him now, 1 decade, by the red tape not cut. Remember that the point and you go on and push the power. Right to them, and but the red tape not cut place, the red tape not cut.
Calvin,
that means
big
not
up.
hurt then. Me tell you, say I shoot himself time for. The Naira is the next way for him send them some money. It's continue.
Environment for investors. Consequently, we must address the slow pace of implementation of government projects, which saps the vibrancy of the economy.
So him say it when him come join, when him come do this, now the earth as him come in, this slow place, and 10 years now, 10 years after, you come and tell me about slow place, and that's why you come with Nara. That means you're a failure, brother.
Of course, I'm a failure.
You know what's nothing else?
Of course, I'm a failure.
It don't fear and when them go for leeching them and all of them
fail.
This guy should know that nothing at all.
Yes.
Eh? Look here.
And contributes to the missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities.
I believe that as we work together, we create a strong, cohesive, productive, harmonious, and peaceful Jamaica that is truly the place of choice to live, work, raise families, do business, and retire in paradise.
Paradise.
I have every confidence in this excellent team on board to get the job done.
So with confidence, can you tell the Jamaican people them this, you know? You have an excellent team.
Yes.
So what team you come with now, brother?
So all the excellent team that deliver upon the 5 and 4.
People us the same affair there.
Mighty
You can't
God.
come with any agency or anything. I want to listen to this garbage. This is garbage speak. The man has, I just pay a garbage amount.
Mommy.
Because the man come with this on the foreign side, the Ministry of Growth and Job Creation.
Mom.
That alone, if the serious animal work, that's the whole of this. We're going to play something and hear what they're going to do and they're going to implement it. So you can't, you don't take the guy as serious. You understand? As him go about him, get an next pill for swallow.
Yes.
Dangerous. Continue.
Dangerous.
I've already seen evidence of what they can accomplish through vision, strategic planning, focus, hard work, and commitment. Together, let's transform Jamaica.
See? It transforms me. I ask you to come and play the next one. No, I'm holding back on him same word.
In relation to mics and participate, we see the challenge that we have when multiple.
Big up Mr. Lonesome. 6 minutes left, guys. 6 minutes left. Let's go.
When the presentation is drawing to an end.
91,000. 6 minutes left.
And the mic will be activated. Right?
Beat up the screen. Beat up the screen, my side.
So there is, again, references made to
100,000 we say. Beat up the screen.
Yes. It will show that you lost. All right, so I think we have the member from South Manchester.
92,000. Yes. Beat up, we can do it, my side. We can do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, 6 minutes left, man. 5 minutes left now, 5 minutes.
To contribute to the debate because I was confident that the leader of the opposition would have covered the points.
Yes.
I think the use of the standing orders to curtail the important contribution of the leader of the opposition was very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Though consistent with a growing practice of suppression of
Rich, big up.
not supporting the government. Members of parliament were not elected to come here to serve the standing orders. The standing orders are here.
4.5 minutes remaining. Let's go, let's go. My side, let's go.
And when it is used to stifle,
we need it tap faster, man. Tap faster.
That is so significant to the future of
yeah,
this
country.
It is disgraceful.
Quite disgraceful.
Mr. Speaker, we can begin by acknowledging the scale of the crisis. Hurricane Melissa inflicted devastation of historic proportion. That demands urgency, it demands coordination.
Terran Allen, big up.
But above all, it demands accountability.
3 minutes and 20 seconds left.
That, Mr. Speaker, is precisely what this bill fails to provide.
No, 3 minutes and 40 seconds,
It is a blank check without guardrails.
Blank check without guardrails.
This legislation creates an authority with sweeping powers over billions of dollars.
3,000 more likes, let's go.
Yet strips away the very safeguards that protect public funds. The authority is empowered to procure goods, works, and services directly. It can enter into any transaction it deems necessary. And it is funded by unlimited parliamentary appropriations and other inflows.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, this is not reconstruction governance. This is a fiscal free-for-all. Where are the explicit procurement rules? Where are the independent oversight mechanisms? Where is the requirement for competitive tendering, public disclosure?
2 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's go. We can do it, my side. We can do it.
We are asked to trust blindly that this authority will regulate.
With their 99,000. Yes. Let's go, my side. Let's go. 100,000 likes, my side.
Is executive capture. The Prime Minister controlling everything.
Mighty God.
The architecture of this authority is not independent. It is subordinate to the executive.
Wow.
The CEO is appointed by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister can issue binding directions and the CEO must comply. The Cabinet alone determines which projects are approved and which are strategic. This is not a balanced institutional design.
My side. My side. My side, big up on yourself, my side. 100,000 likes for the first time on the platform on TikTok. You understand? You know, stay with you, no. You come back later. About 10:30 p.m. tonight. We're at it again. Ladies and gentlemen. Lady J Love, big up. Thanks for all the gifts on TikTok. You guys are amazing. Me really I build one real TikTok family over here, so. And on YouTube, we want to do the same. You understand? So all of my TikTok people them, I want you guys to go to the description of my page. Go to the description of my page and hit the link. Hit the link. The link that is in the description. The bio, and subscribe to Bolo VNR 2.0. Alright? We want to get to 40,000 subs over there. And for Bolo VNR clips, we want to get to 10,000 subs over there. Alright? And for TikTok, I'm trying to get to 30,000 followers. I'm already at 25,000 something. But yeah, we want to get to 30,000 followers. Alright? So yeah, so Definitely appreciate everybody liking and sharing the video. Special shout out to all of my fan club members. If you're not yet a fan club member, I encourage every one of you to become a fan club member. And I also want to encourage you guys that can afford it to become a super fan club member on my TikTok page. Yes, yes, that would show some different levels of love and appreciation for the platform. There it's been right there. A super fan club member. All right, anybody that become a super fan club member, I will sing for you if you subscribe. All right, yes, no doubt about it. For persons on Bolo VNR clips, I want you guys to check out the video uploads that I have up. Same thing for Bolo VNR 2.0. Catch those replays if you haven't already. All right, bless up to all of my ladies. Love you guys, and salute to all of my brothers out there. Massive respect. All right. Angela Blackwood, you come in late, man. I end me at any live now. I come back late at 10:30 p.m. still, so if you're not on, look out for me. Zin, that is it. That's my time. Peace and blessings. I'm out. Why son beat me right now? Remember me tell you. Son beat